Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining our Lunch and Learn today. So these Lunch and Learns are free. They're held monthly at 12 noon Central Time, and they're approximately 20 minutes in length. So today's Lunch and Learn, we're going to be going over exporting evidence reports as a PDF, and those will be with layer support and embedded links. So just a little agenda for today. The topics that we'll be covering, I'm going to go over some layer management so that when we do the layer support, we make sure our drawn entities are on the correct layer. I'm also going to insert some evidence markers with attachments. So we'll attach some photos and a video. I'll insert an evidence legend as well. And then we'll be going on to pre-configured templates. And we'll show you how to create a diagram with that and export as PDF with layer support. And then finally, we'll create an evidence report and we'll attach that diagram as well. So let's get started. So here's a scene that was created with an aerial image. It's an orthorectified image. So I've used this to insert some vehicles on top, some fluid spill, roadway lines, and labels. And we're going to add some evidence markers to this, and this will be the scene that we create our evidence report with. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure all of the drawn entities are on the correct layer. So we're going to start with the labels. And an easy way to do this is just to select all. And then we'll go into our properties panel. We'll just right click anywhere and select properties. And it says varies because we have everything selected. So just in this drop down, we can select M text, and it shows us there's 7 labels, and we'll just make sure that yes, they're on the sketch labels layer. And you can do this for the different entities drawn there. Or a second way to do this is from the layers manager. This is on the draw ribbon, and this allows you to create new layers, delete layers, change features of the layers. So we'll create a new layer that's called Sketch Fluid Spill, or just fluid. And then we'll close out of here. And I'm just going to go back in the drawing and select the fluid. And the one down here as well. And then up at the top here, I'll use this drop down to just select the new layer I want to put these on. And then the layer shows up at the top there. We can also check the vehicles. So we can see the vehicles on its own layer. That one's on its own layer as well. And the aerial image, the drone imagery, is also on its own layer. So let's start adding some evidence markers. So we'll go to the Analysis tab and select Evidence Markers. And first of all, we'll type in number 1 and choose a marker type. We can set the text height. We could set a layer, color, and we'll also add legend text. So I'll set this to area of impact for vehicle 1 and 2. And then we'll go attach file. So we'll just go and browse to our location where we have our files stored. And I'm going to attach an aerial image as well as a video. So we can see that they show up here and they can be turned on or off by the check marks. And I'll hit insert and I'll just place this right at the label. So now it opens up to point ID 2. So I'll keep all the same settings. I'm just going to change the legend text. And I'll attach another photo. And we'll just insert this at the approximate area of impact for vehicle 1 and 3. So I'm just going to continue. Next, we'll label the vehicles. So I'm just going to use a different marker type. We'll leave the settings the same, and I'm just going to change the marker text to vehicle 1 as well as the legend text. And we're going to attach a photo of the Ford pre-impact and post-impact. We'll just put this off to the side here by the vehicle. So we'll do the same for vehicle 2. And we'll attach the two before and after pictures of the Ford Focus. Insert that one as well. And the last one is vehicle 3. The BMW photos will attach and insert by the BMW. So now we're done adding evidence markers. We can close the dialog. And if you did want to go back into the dialog, you can use the same evidence marker button in the ribbon, or you can go to your Home tab, turn off your grips, and select the edge of the evidence marker, and that will open up the marker so you can make changes. Make sure to turn your grips back on. So now we're going to add an evidence legend to the scene. You can change the settings in here as well, put it on a different layer. I'll turn off the text column and hit OK. We'll just place this up into the corner here. And now we have our legend. So Map 360 does come with pre-configured templates, and you can also create custom templates as well. So we're going to use one of the pre-configured ones down here. So I'll select Letter Portrait 2, and our scene shows up in the viewport. So I'll just double click in the square and you can see the outline highlights. That means it's active, and you can zoom in or do a zoom extents, try and match up where you want your photo. You can also scale these viewports independently, or you can use the zooming tools because the viewport is active. So I'm going to use the zoom window just to get the area that I want to show. And then you can adjust it and double click outside of the square to deactivate the viewport. So at the very bottom here we have a title block, and you can fill this in with your information, including the location and date, who it's drawn by, and the title. And then we're going to export this as a diagram, as a PDF. So we'll go to the Import Export, hit Export, and we can see it's going to be PDF document. So I'll just save that into the same location. The export dialog comes up. Make sure you hit Portrait, and then we'll check on Enable Layer Support. And you can also include off layers as well, but we'll just leave that unchecked for now. So now that our diagram's been created, you can open it, but we're just going to skip right into the evidence report. So I'll go back to Analysis, Evidence Report. You can add in a title page and a drawing and supplementary files. So we're going to attach that diagram as our drawing. And you can include drawing snapshot. You can organize by point number or marker text and set up your page settings. So we'll just select OK. We'll rename this. And save. So depending on how many attachments you have, it does take some time to load up the report, but it will open up automatically. So our first page, as we can see, is the diagram that we attached. I'm just going to make this full screen and we'll zoom out a little bit. So you can see our diagram, and on the left-hand side we have our layers. So I can turn these layers on and off, and you can see on the diagram they're actually turning off in the PDF. So if you wanted a diagram without the aerial image or with the aerial image, they're all there for you. So as we scroll down, we can see there's a preview of every image, and you can open up this image and it will be a full-sized, full-resolution image. So these embedded links are very handy to show all the different evidence at the scene. And here's the movie I attached. So we can continue scrolling down, and you see that the coordinate information is included, the point number, the evidence marker and legend text are included. And these photos, they could be taken with an iPhone at the scene or a nice camera. They're just any kind of photos that have been taken of the evidence. And because they open up with full resolution, you can zoom in and actually see the full detail of the photos. And we've got the rest of the evidence markers here. So these evidence reports, they really allow the user to create just a simple diagram with a deliverable that can be easily shared and effectively communicate the critical evidence at the scene. You can attach photos, videos, notes, your diagrams, and share these electronically or file them, print them, and you don't have to send all of the information with them. Or sorry, all of the attachments with the PDF. So in the handout section, I did include the final PDF with the layer support and embedded links. So please do download that PDF and try it out for yourself, see how it works. And I just put a little note here that the layers and embedded links, they are supported by Adobe Reader, which is a free download. Some other PDF viewers, they might not support these features, or they might support only one of them. So if you are looking to use the layer support, it's best that you download that free Adobe Reader. So our next Lunch and Learn is going to be next year, January 9th, and it's going to be with Ken Jones going over the Rapid Forensic Deliverable, and that's going to be using Register 360 and Map 360. And we hope to see you all there. That link will be posted for that webinar very shortly. So yeah, go ahead and register for that one as well. And that is all for today. Does anybody have any questions? I do have Hal on the line with me from our tech support. So he is going to be reading them out for me.
So the first one that came in was, is there a limit for the amount of attachments that you can have for the evidence markers?
That's a good question. So there isn't a limit. You can add as many photos or videos to your PDF file, but it will become a large file. It will have quite a few attachments in it and embedded links, so the PDF file will be quite large for sharing, but it is unlimited. And as you saw today, I had, I think, 2 attachments per evidence marker, and I could easily share that PDF file.
And there is another one. Where do you save the attachments?
The attachments can be saved anywhere on your computer, preferably with the drawing. So if you're going to be moving the drawing, you can move all of the files and attachments together. But with that PDF, once the PDF is created, you don't need to send those attachments. They're embedded links that will automatically open up those files without having those files on the computer.
And are you able to use pictures taken from evidence recorder in your evidence report?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you use Evidence Recorder and you take some photos at the scene, those photos are actually attached to those points. So when you bring them into Map 360 and you go to create an evidence marker, if you type in number or point 1 and that point 1 has a photo attached, it will automatically be attached to your evidence marker. You won't have to attach them separately. And then if you don't want that photo attached, you can just use that checkbox to uncheck it, and it won't show up in your evidence report.
And the last one is it possible to order your evidence marker report by the evidence marker number?
Yes, so there are two options for ordering. In the legend and in the report, there are options to organize by point number and marker text. So you can order those two different ways. And we are currently looking into another route of organizing manually. So that hopefully will be coming next year. But for now, it's just the two different options.
And that was the list of questions that we had for today.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you for all of your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact myself or our tech support, and we'd be happy to help you out. Have a good day, everyone.